My name is Richard Field. I am 75 years old. I am Jared's grandfather. I have been married to Judy Field for 54 years, and I have two sons. My oldest son, Richard, youngest son, David, and Richard is Jared's father. I was born in Los Angeles, California in 1941. I'm not the first generation born in the United States. My great-great-grandfather, Horace Cox, was born in Kansas City, Missouri. I was a sophomore at California University, Los Angeles, and I was walking between classes when over the loudspeaker came that President Kennedy had been assassinated in Dallas, Texas. It was a terrible time for this country. At that time, most of the students just sat down. There were a lot of people crying, and I just couldn't believe what happened. A little bit of America died that day. I was drafted in 1966, the largest draft in the history of the country. It was a political war. The American people were not very happy with the war, and they treated the soldiers not very well. It's a time of my life that I was proud to serve my country, but my country wasn't very happy with the soldiers. What a great time. Every American was glued to the television set when our astronauts walked on the moon. The pride that we felt was just unbelievable. America did it. No other country has done it, nor will they. When Richard Nixon resigned, it was a hard time for Americans to understand. Watergate was an issue that was just another issue of the 60s. Not much I can say about it. I was a Nixon fan at that time. I still don't understand it, to be quite honest. I can still hear President Reagan say, "Tear down that wall." It was kind of mixed emotions. At my age, you think about what the Germans did to the rest of the world during the war, but it was a time for forgiveness. It was a time for the East Germans to be reunited with the West Germans. It was a good time. I think it was time for the Germans to be free. I was visiting relatives in Nebraska, feeding about 200 heifer calves, when my cousin came out and said that they're bombing New York. We dropped what we did and went in to watch on television and watch what happened to the World Trade Center. And a little bit of America died at that time. That how could that happen to the greatest country in the world? It's just unbelievable that the terrorists could do the damage that they did. My heart goes out for the people who lost their lives. One of the greatest things about being an American is that you have the ability to achieve, to move ahead, to strive, to do better at the work that you do. For me, I was very fortunate in my job and my family and the security that my wife and I worked out for our children. It was a great time. It still is a great time. The American dream is still there. Just reach out and grab it.
The biggest event in my lifetime in the United States was Hurricane Katrina. It was an extremely bad time for the U.S. I remember seeing all of the ads on TV showing the horrors of the water invading people's homes, sweeping up everything. I also remember the solemn look on my parents' face every time one of the ads would air. The only positive that can be taken from that horrific event would be that it forced everyone in the nation to pitch in and help our fellow citizens in their hour of need. My American dream is to be able to have a family and to have the ability to provide for, protect, and nurture that family so that they will be put in the best possible spot. My American dream is to be able to have a family and to have the ability to provide for, protect, and nurture that family so that they will be put in the best possible position to accomplish their goals.